Hi, Dan the Rare Coin Man here, checking in once again. Thanks for joining me. If you've seen any of my previous videos, you may already know that I am the creator of the website called rarecoins101.com. Yes sir, I built that site from scratch. I didn't pay anyone to ghostwrite for me, do the research, build charts, or anything. No AI whatsoever. And frankly, I'm proud of that. I do my own work. The site covers numerous topics of importance to coin collectors, but really the primary focus of Rare Coins 101 is to highlight U.S. coins that are the most likely to advance strongly in value in the years ahead based on their long-term price trend histories. That is, if they've done really well in the past, they'll probably do darn good in the future for the same reason they did so well in the past. That's because the law of supply and demand governs coin collecting prices as well. And so I compiled what I call the key date coin list, which is about 200 or so U.S. coins that have stood head and shoulders above the field of collectible coins. From time to time, I produce a video highlighting one of the coins appearing on this list. And that's what I'm about to do right now. Today, we're going to take a closer look at the 1929 Indian Head $5 half eagle. Now, when this coin was first struck, its relatively large mintage made it seem destined to be just another common date gold coin of no particular numismatic interest. But as you are about to see, that's not at all what happened. So let's get started. Well, here's another one that if only I knew years ago what I know now. The foremost agent of change during the early years of the 20th century was President Theodore Roosevelt. One of his goals was to upgrade the artistic qualities of U.S. coinage to the level of becoming a source of national pride on the world stage. With Roosevelt's urging, the Indian head theme was introduced in 1908 on the United States gold $2.50 quarter eagle and the $5 half eagle. These coins broke new ground by sinking the main devices and lettering below the surface of the coin rather than raising them above the surface in the traditional bas relief manner. Numismatists often describe the Indian head quarter eagle and half eagle as having an incused design and are unique in American coinage. In addition to revamping the design on the quarter eagle and half eagle, Roosevelt was instrumental in pushing forward with new designs on the $10 eagle and $20 double eagle, and was the driving force leading to the introduction of the Lincoln cent in 1909, which, all these years later, is still with us today. The Indian head half eagles was minted every year from 1908 through 1916. For reasons that have never been understood, the coining presses at the Philadelphia Mint were fired up again in 1929 for Indian head half eagle production. 662,000 of them were struck, which by no means was a small mintage back in those years. But, as we are about to see, most of them never entered general circulation. The fast-moving 1920s were carefree and filled with optimism. It was a period of tremendous social and economic change. For the first time, more Americans were living in cities rather than in the countryside. Radios and home appliances, movie theaters, and new clothing styles. And of course, the automobile. All found their way into the fabric of American culture. Businesses flourished, wages were high, and life was good for most people during the decade of the Roaring Twenties. Widespread economic growth led to wealth creation across much of American society. In response to the business expansion, the Dow Jones Industrial Average rose rapidly between 1922 and 1929. Middle-class people from all walks of life participated enthusiastically in the stock market boom, many borrowing money to build their portfolios. However, near the end of the decade, overconfidence in continued prosperity inflated stocks far beyond their true value, powering the Dow to unrealistic heights. There were plenty of warning signs of an approaching economic collapse, but these were largely ignored. On October 24th, 1929, a wave of panic selling hit the New York Stock Exchange. Concerns about overproduction of goods and extensive speculation in overvalued stocks had finally boiled over. On October 29th, another massive sell-off occurred. Stockholders, big and small, could do little but watch as their net worth vanished into thin air. Following the stock market crash in 1929, extensive business and bank failures caused massive unemployment, leading to suffering and despair throughout the nation. It was the beginning of the Great Depression. As the Great Depression settled in, the commercial need for $5 half eagles in circulation diminished accordingly during the economic slowdown, so nearly the entire mintage of 1929 half eagles languished within the Treasury Department's vaults. While it was President Theodore Roosevelt who played a major role in getting the Indian head half eagle started, it was President Franklin Roosevelt who led to its final demise. FDR's gold recall order of 1933 placed strict limitations on gold ownership in the United States. In 1937, the remaining government supply of 1929 half eagles, which was nearly the entire original mintage, was melted, cast into ingots, and deposited in Fort Knox. Prior to the recall order, less than 1,000 of the 1929 half eagles were paid out to the public by the mint cashier, explaining why we have a very small number, of survivors for this coin today. Had it not been for Franklin Roosevelt's gold order of 1933, the 1929 half eagle with a mintage of 662,000 would probably be viewed much like any other generic common date gold coin that is really generally not worth much more than its intrinsic bullion value. But similar to what happened to a few other gold coin dates from the 1920s and the 1930s, the meltdown of nearly the entire mintage of the 1929 half eagle has made it a highly desirable acquisition for collectors ever since. How about if we go to rarecoins101.com to have a look at its value trend history? All right, here we are, the rarities101.com homepage. So to get to the charts for the 1929 half eagle, we've got to first go to the key date coin list. So we just click this link right here, and we're taken to the key date coin list page. And this is the page that's got all the coins that we've listed. And there's some introductory material here that we don't need to go over. Let's just head on down directly to where the list starts. And the first group is the good group, and there are several groups higher than that. The 1929 half eagle belongs to the good group, so it should be in this group of coins right here. And let's see where we can find it. Let's see, right there it is, 1929 Indian head $5 half eagle. So all these links on this page will take you to another page dedicated to that coin that's listed there, complete with histories and charts and so forth. So let's go ahead and click this. And here we are, the 1929 Indian head $5 half eagle page. And we can see all this history. We talked about that in the video. Going down here, there we go, the nice image of the coin. And as I mentioned earlier, it belongs to the good group. The trend line average for this coin is 14.41. I'm going to come back and talk about that in just a minute. So let's go down here. Now we're at the chart, and the first chart you see is for this coin, the 1929 $5 half eagle, in very fine condition. It charts the estimated retail values for this coin in this grade starting in 1990 to the present time. So in 1990, this coin was selling for an estimated $2,450. And in 2024, it's risen all the way to $15,000. So when you take all this data here for all these different years from 1990 onward and calculate a trend line slope, it comes to 18.92. And you don't need to really get into the mathematics behind all that, the trend line calculations. You don't need to really get into that. It is explained at the bottom of the key date coin list page if you're really wanting to get into that. But just what you need to know is the bigger this number and the steeper this line, the slope line, the better the coin has performed in terms of percentage value gains. So that's what this coin looks like from 1990 to 2024 in very fine condition. Now, if you click this, it shows the same coin and how it's performed in extremely fine condition. So it's got a similar pattern of price appreciation. Trend line slope's not quite as steep. Number's not quite as big. Then we can also look at it in about uncirculated, in MS60, and MS63. And then we want to just do a quick grade comparison. We can do it right. This grade percent computations, and you can see over this period of time, it looks like the very fine has outpaced the others. And then if you really want to dig into it deeper, we can go back in time to 1950 and look at the value trends from 1950 to 1990. And you can see it's these things stair step very nicely. So this coin has performed very, very well over a period of many decades. So let's go back here to this chart, and then I want to take you up here to the trend line average, 14.41. That's just the trend line slope average of all these various conditions that are charted. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 trend line slopes were calculated and averaged, and we get to 14.41. Now, I've done a lot of these calculations before, and I'm telling you, anything that's 13.0 and better is head and shoulders above the collectible coin universe, and that's how the trend line average is what determine what group, if any, a particular coin was belonged to. And so when you took the trend line average of the 1929 half eagle, it ended up being in the good group, which is really, really very good. So that's because this coin it's been around. It's been very popular with collectors for a very long time. The supply is much smaller than the demand, and that's what keeps pushing prices higher and higher, because this coin is really popular with collectors, and there's just not enough of them to go around to satisfy demand. So that's about it for the 1929 half eagle charts. The Indian Head Half Eagle series is relatively short, running from 1908 through 1916 and again in 1929, and is considered by many collectors to be quite beautiful, certainly very distinctive. Notwithstanding the price of gold, the series is eminently collectible. That's because there are only 2 roadblock dates in completing a full set. The 1909 O, and as we have just seen, the 1929. The 1909 O was minted in very small quantities and was rare coming out of the starting gate. On the other hand, the 1929 wasn't rare to start with, but because of the onset of the Great Depression and President Franklin Roosevelt's gold order, close to 99.8% of its mintage disappeared into the melting pot, transforming it into one of the greatest rarities from the 20th century. Well, that pretty much brings this video to a close. You can read about other really special U.S. coins on the Key Date Coin List, which you'll find on the website rarecoins101.com. Now, if you thought this video was worth the effort to watch, please click the like button. That helps me out more than you may realize. If you're interested in seeing more videos like this one, please be sure to subscribe. I surely do thank you for that. Okay, until next time, this is Dan, the Rare Coin Man, signing off. Happy collecting!